Every morning, SpongeBob wakes up to the most aggressive alarm clock in cartoon history. A screaming bubble horn that blasts like a miniature ship siren. But here's the question, how does it work? And could this thing actually work or exist in real life? Could an underwater bubble blasting air horn be engineered for 100 meters depth? Well, let's find out.
The real challenge: sound, bubbles and pressure.
Underwater sound is tricky, but SpongeBob's clock doesn't even try to use normal sound. And that's actually genius, because bubbles make sound as they form and collapse. Sound underwater behaves nothing like sound in air. If you've ever tried yelling underwater, you know what happens. Your voice turns into a weird, muffled whale noise. That's because water is dense, 800 times denser than air, and the pressure at SpongeBob's depth is about 11 bar. That's like having a small car sitting on every square inch of your alarm clock. So normal speakers, bells or buzzers, completely useless. Almost all their sound energy just dies the moment it hits the water.
Something isn't working out.
But SpongeBob's clock uses something much smarter, bubbles.
Who blew this bubble?
The heart of the clock, the bubble horn system.
As you know, SpongeBob's alarm isn't a bell. It's basically a tiny pneumatic air horn. To make this work underwater, we need to build a real engineering version. Step 1 would be a pressurized air tank.
Love air. Air is good.
A sealed titanium or aluminum tank that holds compressed air. Enough for a few seconds of bubble honking every morning. The secret trick is bubble resonance, and the cartoon got it actually right. When a bubble forms underwater, it vibrates, and when it vibrates, it creates a pure tone.
Hi, Patrick.
The smaller the bubble, the higher the pitch. The bigger the bubble, the lower the pitch. SpongeBob's clock uses hundreds of these bubbles at once, which combine into a big, goofy... This is real physics, by the way. Boats use it, submarines use it, and yes, SpongeBob's alarm clock could use it too. Step 2. Microvalve release system. A fast opening valve releases short bursts of high pressure air. When the valve opens, the sudden pressure change forms bubbles, and every bubble vibrates, producing a loud acoustic pulse. Step 3. The bubble horn. This is the iconic part. The horn isn't for sound transmission in air, it shapes how bubbles escape. It functions like a nozzle and trumpet hybrid. And because bubble size defines pitch, the horn controls the exact sound SpongeBob hears. The nozzle shapes the bubbles, making them all roughly 4 to 6 mm in size. And that produces the familiar 600 to 900 Hz honk we hear in the show.
Housing. How it survives 11 bar of pressure.
At SpongeBob's depth, around 100 meters, the clock must survive around 11 bar of pressure. So the real version needs a thick aluminum or polycarbonate shell, corrosion-resistant metals, O-rings and no weak points. Because at that depth, the external pressure is enough to cave in cheap materials like a soda can. Engineers calculate the shell thickness using the Barlow formula, by the way.
Oh, it's so complicated.
I will spare you all the mathematical calculations.
Engineering the sound. How loud would it actually be?
A bubble horn underwater can reach about 80 to 100 decibels, depending on bubble size, audible within a few meters and surprisingly powerful considering its size. That's more than enough to wake up a sea sponge or annoy Squidward.
Squidward. Squidward. Squidward.
Power system. How does it keep ticking?
We still need timekeeping. A real underwater version uses a quartz oscillator, ultra-low power microcontroller, long-life lithium cells and a pressure-resistant housing.
I've become unbreakable!
Final design. The real SpongeBob alarm clock.
Putting it all together, the real device is a compact aluminum pressure housing, has a tiny air tank, a fast micro valve, a calibrated bubble nozzle, a quartz clock core, thick transparent polycarbonate face, and a bright cartoon-like design. In real life it won't look exactly like the cartoon, but it will sound like it. Honking underwater using bubble resonance is completely real.
Based on a real treasure map.